Namaskar. Very good afternoon, dear learners. I am Dr. Renu Tomar. I shall be talking about sociological foundation of education. Through this topic, we shall be trying to understand what education is and how it is related to sociology and what kind of role does sociology plays as far as education is concerned. Friends, what is sociology? As far as sociology is concerned, it is nothing but interdependence upon humans. That means, as far as social structure is concerned, no individual is enough in oneself. One is interdependent on others as to do something, and this is how the society comes into being, and this is why the communities come into being, and this is the reason why we call human beings that they are social animals. This is what differentiates human being from other animals. Friends, as far as India is concerned, this is one of the most ancient nation with rich legacies of culture and literary pursuit. And if we talk about India and how it is perceived by the various experts, and as far as history of education is concerned, it is nearly 5,000 years old. And if we try to understand that how the country, the socio-cultural context in India has impacted education and how education has impacted socio-cultural state of the nation during different times. So, this is something we shall be talking about, we shall be discussing through sociological foundation of India, through a sociological approach to education. Friends, now let us try to understand that as far as education is concerned, in India, it is responsible for progress of the society. In fact, India has progressed, the society has progressed through education. There have been certain problems in India, and those problems have been solved. The suitable solutions for those problems have been deliberated upon due to the education, and it was education which was responsible for even the independence of India. Friends, in fact, if the education was not introduced by Britishers in India, then do you think that we would have been able to know that what kind of revolutions have gone into the world at large? In fact, it was due to the fact that English people introduced the education at higher education as well as at the school education, and the Indian students got to know that what was Russian Revolution and what was French Revolution, and the result was that Indians also thought of getting independence from the colonial rule of Britishers. So friends, as far as sociological foundation is concerned, the sociological aspects is concerned, we have to understand that from the historical perspective also, we have to understand that how it has played an important role in unraveling the different problems, as well as we need to understand that what kind of future we want the nation to have, and accordingly how education can play an important role for sensitizing the people at large as far as cause and effect of social evil is concerned. So, if we try to unravel what sociological approach to education has given in the sociological foundation of education, we have to understand that how sociologists have viewed education. In fact, if we look at education from the sociologist perspective, then education keeps on happening in the society. Education is not something which comes in the school or the college. Education is something which is happening in the society. In fact, as soon as a person is born, he begins to have education. The toilet education, the education to eat, education to walk, education to sit. What are they? They are education. And in fact, as far as education is concerned or learning is concerned, that keeps going on till our last breath. So, if we see in details, then that means every individual is getting educated at every phase of his or her life. And as far as system of education is concerned, that is moving forward generation after generation, and it never takes rest. So sociologists try to unravel as far as information is concerned related to the schooling system, related to the education system. They try to understand that how education system is impacting, or how education system can impact the society. So the role of sociologist is to provide the agendas to education, as well as to understand how education is having an impact at the society from the socio-cultural perspective. So it is both the way as far as sociology is concerned, because sociology focuses on groups, societies and institutions. If we try to understand education from the perspective of sociology, then we would understand that sociological approach to education try to examine how belonging to particular nation state affect an individual experience of schooling or higher education. Sociological approach focuses our attention on how educational experiences may be differentiated by social group. In addition, it tries to explore the impact of education itself on how social groups are formed. The scale of such sociological analysis can differ greatly from the local level, exploring interaction between the individuals within the class as well as the individuals in the market or individual in the globally, politically. So sociology is something, or social processes are something which are operating inside the families, inside the classroom, in the world at large. May it be the political scenario, may it be the economic scenario, everywhere social processes are operating, and this is what we need to examine as far as the cross national flow of students is concerned. Because whenever we talk about education, we have to understand education not just as per the requirement of our nation or requirement of our community or requirement of our society, but also we have to unravel education from the perspective of the global needs also, so that our students shall be able to move from one community, one society to the world at large, to the other countries, to the globes. So as far as sociological foundation is concerned, it tries to emphasize in general as well as in particular that how individual experiences is having a reflection on the broader issues. So if we try to understand sociology from the perspective of C. Wright Mills, then personal troubles and public issue is what sociology is, the connection between personal troubles and public issue. He argued that sociological imagination was necessary to identify the interconnection between the two. So part of such a sociological imagination also means that we should be able to question common sense beliefs, we shall be able to challenge accepted norms, we shall be have the wisdom changing as per the requirement of the society. And in relation to education, this may focus on what children are taught in the school and how they are assessed, as well as role of the teachers in the classroom. So friends, in today's lecture, we shall try to unravel, we shall try to understand what is the major function of education. We shall try to list all the major functions of education. We shall also try to explain the problems that conflict theory sees in education. We shall be unraveling how symbolic interactionism understand education. We shall be also trying to understand how the vision for future of Indian education is developed or it should be developed. So now let us try to understand what is function of education. If we try to understand functions of education, number one function which education plays is that of a socialization. Secondly, it plays an important role as far as social integration is concerned. Thirdly, it plays an important role in providing social placement. And fourthly, it plays an important role in providing social and cultural integration. So friends, through today's talk, we shall be trying to understand each function in detail. Now let us try to understand what socialization is. As far as socialization is concerned, socialization means, as from the perspective of functional theory, it means the function that education serves in fulfilling a society's various needs is the most important function of education, and that is called socialization. That means the education is trying to serve the society's needs. And what are usually the society's needs? Society's needs are that to our generation who is going to take over tomorrow, to that generation we are able to teach sociological norms. We are able to make them understand what are the social beliefs. We are able to understand what are the prevalent customs. We are able to make them understand and follow the culture. We are able to provide them discipline. We are able to make them understand that what is importance of individualism, what is importance of competition. So punctuality, individualism, competition, and teaching the norms, values and skills. These are the functions of the society, and who has taken the responsibility as a vehicle of such learning? That is education. And where it is given to the individual, that is given to the individual ever since he is born. In fact, that is why we say whenever we talk about agencies of education are family as well as school, colleges, even the playground. That is why we usually say that the agendas or functions of all the agencies should be same. Otherwise, the student will be confused between the learnings provided by different agencies. So, the role of different agencies is not just to give all these sociological needs to the student, but also keep in mind that all the agencies are moving in the same direction. So now friends, what is socialization? Let us try to understand socialization from the perspective of different nations. If we look at the Japan, then the Japanese value of harmony and group belonging is something which they term as socialization, and they try to imbibe that from the schooling itself. In fact, as far as socialization is concerned, it is not a plot. It is not something which anybody is intentionally doing it inside the school or inside the family. But it is something which comes, may it be the patriotic values, may it be the respect for the authorities, may it be the respect for the elders. It comes automatically from the books they read, automatically from the people they look at, they see, and from the other classroom activities. So that is why the books, that is curricula, the activities in the classroom, the activities outside the classroom, as well as the people whom the child is seeing around, all should be having same kind of values, same kind of norms, same kind of functions which the society needs to be incorporated in the child. So as far as functions of education is concerned, we have to understand that one of a major function which a society needs to incorporate in one's own children is social integration. What is social integration? Social integration means that from the functionalist point of view, society has to work so that people must subscribe to common sets of beliefs and values. And that is something which integrates them. That is something which results in development of common views or common values. That is the goal of the society. The goal of the society which is taken up by the education as a purposeful vehicle for incorporating those goals, purposeful tool for incorporating those goals, is that we shall be providing these kind of attitude, we shall be developing those kind of attitude in the child. This was the reason why throughout the world we made education compulsory as well as free. So, the education has been made compulsory and free throughout the world. It is not just in India, throughout the world. The reason is that education is an agency, is a institution who tries to work as a tool for imbibing the beliefs and values in the children. Which are those values and beliefs? They are the one which the society is following at large. And how does it do it? Through curriculum, through the practices which goes on in the class as well as outside the class. So, friends, the basic reason for making education compulsory as well as free is this thing. Now, let us try to understand it further by understanding what we have discussed in the past also, and we also know that how the social agencies, various social agencies have worked in the nations. Let us try to understand. If you remember, when we were talking about America in our previous lecture, we were talking about that in United States it was very important. They perceived it very important that every person should be able to be educated in English, and they wanted it because they wanted to integrate them into American life, and they believed that by making them learn in English, then they will be able to prepare them for the workforce. For that integration, because that integration was the major goal of the America, that is English teaching in the class. So, for this movement, what was done was that English was used to teach children, even those whose native language was Spanish or Vietnamese or whatsoever. So, the other languages which were being spoken by the children at home, that was rejected in schools. It was taken up only till the school students were able to understand English to such an extent that they could be participating or they could be absorbed in the mainstream. Which was mainstream? The mainstream was English teaching schools. So, with this agenda in the school, slowly and steadily the teaching in Spanish, Vietnamese was prohibited and it was tried to get away with. Now, let us try to understand it from the different perspective. What was happening in Europe? In Europe, because the agenda was that the students should be able to speak multiple languages. So, the students who could speak, understand or study in different languages except English, maybe the French, maybe the Spanish, that was looked up as something which was an additional knowledge of the children, that was taken up as something which was of importance to the society. So, in Europe, what was the agenda? Agenda was to introduce different languages. In fact, if we study it from the critics' point of view, in America, the critics have said that due to the fact that English was promoted so much in the school, the result was that the children education weakens, and in fact even their ethnic identity also weakened, and the result was that the students did not feel, the students who were coming from the Spanish speaking families or Vietnamese speaking families, they did not feel very confident in the life ahead. What is the third function of school? That is social placement. What does social placement means? Social placement means that the students are to be identified by the teachers or by the other school officials so that they can take up a career ahead. This is one of a major function of the school. that is to provide them education, the degree, diploma or the certificate along with the skills and the motivation, so that they would be able to do well in life after they have left the education system. So, keeping in view this agenda, how does educational agencies work? Educational agencies identify what is the strength of the child and accordingly motivate the child, may it be from the skill orientation point or may it be from the particular stream point. Why do we go for streams in class 11th or 12th? In fact, NEP 2020 has advocated of introducing schemes at the early stage, and in fact NEP 2020 has also talked about making education more flexible. Why? Because it has acknowledged the fact that education is something which is very versatile, and as far as child is concerned, the child is also very dynamic, and keeping in view the dynamism of the child, the individual difference of the children, we should be making education system very dynamic. This is what NEP 2020 has advocated, that the children should be educated as per their needs. Child should be at the center, not the system, not the teachers, not the classroom, not the curriculum. So, the children are to be taught in the manner that suits them best. In this way, they will be prepared in the most appropriate way possible for their later stations or later stages in life. As far as social and cultural innovation is concerned, which is fourth function of the education, friends, our social scientists believe that no scientific discovery will be possible if we don't introduce in the education social and cultural innovation. What does it mean? That the child should be allowed to think, the child should be allowed to question. Only if, when the child is allowed to think and question and take up his own individual interest, then only we will have scientists in the society, we will have artists in the society, we will have thinkers in the society, we will have poet, we will have novelist. And I think, and in fact this is a fact, that the society to be complete in itself needs each one of them. It doesn't need just the doctors or the engineers or the architect. It also needs the people with the artistic interest or artistic profession, and they are to be educated in those subjects also, along with being educated in the other subject. They should be allowed to know their chosen path. So, as far as this particular agenda is concerned, that is social and cultural innovation is concerned, this has been identified as the fourth function of education. How does education works here? Education involves several latent functions also. What are those latent functions? One latent function which we have talked about is providing a certificate or a degree to the child. Another latent functions are, friends, this is not a primary, this is latent. Why? Because primary function is to educate the child to become a skilled enough to take up a profession and civilized enough to understand one's own country, as well as able to, he or she should be punctual in one's own life and be able to love one's own community, society, and be proud of one's own nation. These are not the latent function, they are the primary function of the education. But usually, how do we look upon education? We look at education as a vehicle of providing certificates, degrees, or diplomas. Friends, as far as other function which is very important, and all those who have been to the play schools, they would acknowledge that the child care is something which is also a function of the education. This is something which can be understood best by the kids who have been to the play school, as well as the teachers who are teaching in kindergarten or the first grade. They keep the children for several hours. They take care of kids, and that is done for free. And there the child is taught how to eat, how to be disciplined, how to how to be in positive as far as working in the group is concerned. In fact, even the leadership or the other strength of the children can be recognized in the class by the teacher, because he or she is investing several hours a day taking care of children. In fact, in the classroom, the children come out with understanding what relationships are, because peer relationship, this is also another important latent function of the schooling. And from this, what we can conclude is, in fact, schooling also leads to or also results in making boyfriends or girlfriends or having prospective marriage partners, because that is also a latent function of education. It can be happening in the high schools also, it can be happening in the schools also, of course, in the later years. So, friends, in fact, if I say that most of the friends I have or you have, they must be the one whom we met in the school, and we are the best of friends with them. Why? Because we have grown up with them, and that is the friendship which is endured throughout the rest of our life. Another latent function of the schooling is that we give them skill. We provide them the skill so that they can become full-time labor force. Labor doesn't only mean the physical, it also means intellectual. So, employment rate is improved, unemployment rate is controlled, it is lowered down. This is also one of the function of education. So, friend, today we have discussed socialization. We also discussed that what are the main functions of education as far as conflict theory is concerned. We shall be taking this topic in the next lecture. Till then, Renu is signing off with a promise to meet you again in the next lecture. Namaskar and very good afternoon.